Hello, girls. Well, this week for history class, we will be learning about the Far East and the countries that are on the Far East. I know the map is a little small, but if you can look at it, all of the countries that are in the Far East are on the map. And here are listed all of them. And mostly on this slide we will be talking about China and Taiwan. Okay, now something very important that you guys need to know is that the Far East can be subdivided into three major regions: the Chinese Sphere, Northeast Asia, and Southeast Asia. The Chinese Sphere centers on Communist China and includes Mongolia and the Free Republic. Mongolia, a large landlocked country between China and Russia, consists mainly on steep grasslands on a high plateau, with the Altai Mountains to the west and the Gobi to the south. The Gobi is the coldest desert in the world, outside the Antarctica, with temperatures of low as negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit in January. Okay, and another thing that we can say about the Gobi is that the winds from the north bring long, cold winters to this arid land, making the Gobi the coldest one. Okay, now, south of Mongolia, China stretches from the Gobi Deserts to the Tian Shan Mountains, in the north to the Himalayas, and the South China Sea. Much of the western China consists on the high plateau, Tibet, which is this one right here on the picture, known as the roof of the world. Okay, let's see. As you can look at the picture, the Himalayas are in the back, and it is known that, well, the plateau of Tibet is known as the roof of the world because it is the Earth's highest plateau. Now, another very important area in eastern China are the two most important rivers. Contains more fertile lowlands, including the rich Northeast China Plain to the northeast of the North China Plain, further south. Here is China's two most important rivers, the Huanghe and the Yangtze. They are beautiful. Now, the Huanghe is known as the river of many names because it is known for different names. Another name that you might hear every now and then is the Yellow River. Okay, now we are going to talk about China. Well, before the 20th century, imperial dynasties ruled China from their palace called Forbidden City in Beijing. They commanded China's millions with absolute authority and strictly controlled contact with the outside world. So, back in those days, no one was allowed to go inside the Forbidden City. Only specific people. Two of China's greatest dynasties were the Qing and the Han, which is, well, in the book, if you got the chance to read, they mentioned that this is why China got its name, because of the dynasty Qin. A very, very important place that we are going to mention is the Great Wall of China. The Emperor of Qin conscripted millions of laborers to expand frontiers fortification against Mongol invaders from the north. So basically it was built to keep invaders outside of the country. The Great Wall of China is the world's longest fortification, ranging from east to west, over 1,500 miles of mountainous terrain. This 30-foot wide wall and 23-foot high actually measures over 4,000 miles long with all the twists and turns. So it's very, very, very long. And it was built with the purpose of keeping invaders outside. Okay, now we're going to move to Taiwan. With more than 23 million people living in the area, smaller than US states, Taiwan is one of the most densely populated countries in the world. Now, this is very interesting. It is very small and is smaller than one of the United States states. It is smaller than Georgia, it is smaller than Alabama, than Miami, but it's more populated than a state in the United States. Crazy, huh? Well, Taiwan was such in common with China, including its Mandarin language and its chief region. So they have a lot of things in common with China, and the most thing that they have in common that they share the same language. Taipei is Taiwan's capital, and here I provided a picture. And if you look at the buildings, the one in the middle, it's the night sky, well, the skyline of Taipei in Taiwan. Okay, now what are you going to do next? You are going to answer section 6 review, but you will only answer questions 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 on your notebook. After you're finished, you send evidence to my WhatsApp on a private message. Okay, well, see you until next time.